You telling me?
Go on, Jack. Introduce us.
Oh, he's forgotten how to do it, look.
Yeah, I know. I'm all rusty. Hello, and you're watching the usual bag of shite, the best show in the editor already has to do the work. You are listening to the best Thursday night fun that you can have. All about drones, well, kind of, and buttholes. Tonight, you're joined by Andrew / Frank.
Good evening.
The slut that's Andy RC.
How do?
Is your phone charged?
Well, no. Can you see it's actually charging?
What is your problem?
Why? Why do you need my phone?
I rang you earlier. You didn't answer.
Oh, well, it's because the phone's dead and it's charging there. It takes all day. Takes all day to charge because it is. Can you not see the wire? It's plugged. It completely died, and because I spilled Coke over the USB port, it takes a day to charge.
You're an animal. The beautiful NJ Tech.
Hello, everyone.
Where's your PC? Usually that's in shot. Are you in a different place? Are you in Sophie's?
That's what the guy said earlier. No, I've just sort of had a bit of a move around of furniture and stuff in this room. You know, change the feng shui and all that.
Oh my god! I bet she can't walk anymore.
Yes, we should probably discuss what feng shui is. This isn't my Asian lover.
Okay. And my little Tony.
Bonjour. Welcome back, Jenny.
Hello.
Jenny. One of your anuses. I mean,
I know it's been a hot minute, isn't it? No Curry Kitten tonight. He's on his 17th holiday
of 2020. Jinx.
He's skiing, isn't he? I think I saw on his Bookface page.
Tis.
Oh.
You know what? It feels like a different show already. I don't know why.
Well, it's because there's been swearing. We're late.
Yeah, I know. I already cussed loads.
Nobody.
I feel the word so weird.
No one said butthole for fucking 6 weeks.
Oh, hello, Aries. Hey, how's it going? Who else? Is anyone else? Have I missed anyone? No, I think they're the only one who said my user handle.
That's a lot of people are there going, I know
Mr.
the
Shady.
face.
I know. To see you back, Double A. It's been
face
sensible. You guys have been chatting about actual drone stuff. Like you had Painless. People enjoyed that. Don't enlarge me, Frank. Like my diet does that enough. Win, hello. Thank you to anyone who joined me on the curryless, kitchenless Wednesday night as well. Numbskull, hello. Oh, that's good, man.
So do you want
I've been dying to like. Oh, sorry, Frank.
Tell everyone what you've been doing for the past 6 weeks, because everyone asks every week, even though we tell them.
Should somebody read the disclaimer before he says anything?
I developed a little problem.
What do you mean developed one? You've had one for all your life.
Does someone need to actually read it?
Well, I think we do need.
Who's the most sensible? Frank, I think you should read it.
Any views expressed by any guests on the show are personal and may not reflect the views of others.
Well done.
Terms and conditions may apply. It sounded like an advert, didn't it?
Yeah, I know. You guys are getting worryingly good at that. I know. I needed a break. Like I hadn't missed a show since got out of hospital. And I ended up on a jewelry making course. I've come crawling back to the arts. Yeah, pretty gay. But it's been fun. It's nice. I've been like, hello, Jerry. And I've been kind of like missing the little chats and like, getting updates. I've missed you guys loads. But oh man, like who here feels slightly smug that they hadn't registered and haven't paid their £9 for no reason? Me. Frank, is that you as well?
You may fly then.
I paid mine on the last day before they
Changed it.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So on that subject, Frank, you knew this was coming, so can you just fill in our viewers? It's that time. Let's just get it done. Let's get it out of the way.
Get it over and done
Things
with.
darn changed again.
Well, no, there's talks about mini air show and everything as well. I mean, it's going to be a frank half an hour at this rate.
It's a Frank show. Well, let's kick off with
It's
this.
been good
new...
seeing you guys. All right, over to you, Frank.
Yes, Frank. More on this new document that people can carry with them along with their insurance. Let's start off with that, I think.
Yeah. So if you haven't yet paid your £9 either through the CAA or the BMFA or the FPV UK, then you don't need to do that until July. If you've already paid it, tough luck.
So we don't get our £9 back.
No. But if you haven't paid it, it turns out you don't need to. All you need to do is bring along your proof of membership that you are part of one of those associations, so the BMFA or FPV UK or the Large Model Association or the Scottish Aero Modelers, or all these UK model flying associations. If you've got your proof that you're a member of one of them and you've got a copy of this exemption, so literally just download it from the CAA's website, you're good till July, it turns out, and you don't need to bother with your operator ID or getting that on your craft.
Well, they should.
Have you got any idea why this happened?
They should refund the £9 then, because that's really unfair.
They should. I want my £9 back.
Because it was part of our club that we had to do it, and it's like, it's not fair, man.
Everyone moan at Frank. Frank,
no, I'm not moaning at Frank. Get Big Andy on here, and I want my £9 back.
Yeah, why don't we ask them to come on and we can all shout at them?
I'm sure there's an appropriate messenger.
It might be because
messengers and guns saying that I. Phil rings appropriate.
Because 18,500 people registered and they couldn't cope. Do you reckon that's anything to do with it?
I reckon Bruce orchestrated it.
Let's not even go there.
So
we've got to wait for Curry for that.
I don't know for sure, but from sort of listening on the grapevine, word is that turns out that just importing spreadsheets into your database can cause some issues, and maybe needs a little bit of manual work to make that happen.
You know what this is? This is that guy that does their assignment the night before it's due in. This is basically the CAA is that guy, or girl that has sat there and decided, oh God, I've actually got to sit down and do this. Like, I've just been happy on donut breaks with the £4 million that we've got and all the other stuff. And like, do I have to do? All right, I'll do it. And then panicking within an hour, realizing the mammoth task that was in front of them. That's kind of what's happening here.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so from what I can tell, because there have been quite a few people that have registered through multiple ways, so either CAA and the BMFA, or CAA and FPV UK, or BMFA and FPV UK, or all three, or others, it's kind of they kind of assumed that people wouldn't do that, and that by doing that, that's kind of stopped their import, and it's not worked very well. From what I can
hopefully
tell,
the £9
we don't know
thing will start in July rather than. So we're paid our
exactly. So that is what is now happening, is that they've gone, oh, well, this is taking longer than we thought. We're not going to be able to get everyone sorted out. We don't want loads more people signing up as soon as the weather turns good, because we're not going to be able to keep up with it. So let's kick it down the road until July, when everything else is changing everywhere anyway, which is basically what we were kind of all wondering why they didn't just do that back in November. But so that's what's being done, is now everything changes in July instead of it changing in October, then November, then February, then January, then whatever else.
Because the other thing is changing in July as well, isn't it?
I'll just pick up quickly on Lurgy put a good question in. Do we need reg numbers now if we have them already? To my understanding, if you have the reg number and you've already paid and you've got your registration number, then yes, you do still have to use that operator ID on your craft, according to what I said.
I spoke to Simon about this, Simon Dell, FPV UK, and he said the side effect of the exemption is that as long as you've got the exemption and your membership documents, then the operator ID requirement isn't there anymore because it's an exemption from that. So even if you've got it, you have to put it on your craft.
That conflicts what I read, but it was a CAA thing that I read.
Okay.
Part of their statement that said you still should fly with your operator ID if you've got one, but that may have been talking directly to the people who have registered directly with the CAA and not through an organisation. But yeah, so grey area like so much more of it.
Oh yeah,
a load of.
Go on, you swear, Jack. You're back.
I mean, an exemption's an exemption as far as what's written as the exemption document. And if you're to take that at its word, then even if you have registered and you have your number, if you fill the criteria of their exemption as it's printed, then you shouldn't need to put your operator ID up. So yes, I think the answer is carry those two things and you shouldn't have to cover your models in labels.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is all very entertaining and
isn't it just?
Yeah. Who could have seen this coming?
I think they're secretly plugging holes, and they've they're like, oh no, we need to make this secure. Too many people have registered. I don't know. Someone tag hashtag DEFCON or Anonymous or something. Leak some details.
A lot of people
we can't afford to refund all these people £9.
A lot of people registered though, 18,500. A lot of people out there flying, isn't it?
Where was their courage?
Frank, how do you spell swinging? Is it SWINGIN? G.
Yeah.
G.
Yeah.
You need a partner to do that, don't you, Jack?
No, someone asked, where's Curry? And I said he's on a swinging holiday.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, I don't think we were supposed to tell everyone that. No?
Yeah, I know. Well, clearly he is.
A question in the chat of where would they be if no one had registered, and if no one had registered, then they'd be saying, well, obviously there aren't any people that do this, therefore we don't have any objections when we sell it all to Amazon, so we don't have to worry about any other stakeholders.
Or Amazon like competitors, other shipping services are available.
Yeah, other monolithic corporates.
I think it's
overlords are available.
It's not just retailers. It's like DHL. It's like postal services.
Hermes as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Ain't that a disease?
I don't know.
You tell us, Tone. You're the one that's. No, we won't go there.
So like Bruce with the whole riling up of everyone sort of clickbaity titles.
Yeah, I think we should try some more of them.
I noticed in the comments we were mentioned, and I bit. I was like, fuck, don't tell me. Not all of us are CAA bitches. I think Tony should get a CAA. I am the CAA bitch. If someone donates £9.50, I will write CAA where the tramp stamp goes, whilst holding one of these in the cleavage of my butt and light it whilst working. No, I'm joking. I won't do that.
But I think you're going to get taken off air.
Yeah, it will. I can't do that because it violates YouTube's
you could probably
guidelines.
Do it in your jugs.
No, it's okay.
Jugs. That's such a young one's bottom term.
I love that.
Oh jugs. My god! But remote ID in America, right? Could you imagine if they tried to implement that on guns? Could you imagine? Be like, if you want to own a gun, you go on the list. Yeah, do that already. But your gun needs to transmit a signal all the time, like whenever you move it. You got to use it.
The safety's off.
Huh? Whenever the Yeah, whenever the safety's off, it will transmit your ID. Your bullets have to have your operator ID stamped on them. There'd be uproar. There would be uproar.
It wouldn't happen though, Jack, because of the Second Amendment, and we all know any sort of rules that were written with a feather are universal and will never be changed, even though it's called an amendment. But we won't go there. But I imagine if drones existed back when they were writing that thing with feathers, it would probably be, I don't know, the Third Amendment, or they'd wedge it in there, you know.
Guns don't invade your privacy or take down planes. I think that's exactly what they're for. You know, let me in or I'll shoot you in the face, or plane goes over 20 mil, you know, artillery, boom, you know, takes down. That's exactly what they're for.
I was watching this video on YouTube actually. Is it that I can't remember, but he's like a pilot vlogger, and he was explaining the amount of bullets underneath airliners, just the people that take shots at them. It's frightening.
Tony's having a wank.
It's frightening.
Am I allowed to say wank? Sorry.
I don't know what you're allowed to say. But yeah, people, it's a thing. People shoot at planes. Like, I mean, you know, they're very strong, and by the time it's reached the plane, they're not doing much damage. But yeah, people shoot at planes. How crazy is that? It doesn't bring them down, but it's something that's done.
Although the safety record of guns seems to be worse. That is true.
Slightly.
Yeah. I mean, you can also attach you could attach a camera to a gun. I mean, you know, like.
What about the thing like the tasers do, where they like spurt the confetti everywhere? That goes on. Anyway, Jack, have you been flying at all since you left us last?
Who has honestly been flying? No, I rebelled. Yes. What? How? What?
I flew at a skate park and then indoors. Yeah, no.
Tony, isn't there some sort of law to stop you doing that? Like predatory law?
No, skating.
Being in a park with children with a camera.
Actually, they're all like 40-year-old guys on their skateboards and BMXs.
Yeah, so you're in good company then.
That's because like kids are too busy on their phones now, aren't they? You know, they're not doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's all people in their 40s. I mean, Tony Hawk
on their Snapchats and what's the other one? TikTok.
Yeah, Instafuck or whatever it's called. Yeah. But Jack, you have heard of things like these, right? You know.
Yeah, I own a brushed one, and everyone thinks I'm like with the dinosaurs.
There's nothing wrong with brush ones. Are really good because they don't draw a lot of current and they don't ruin your batteries as much as these.
Yeah.
I've been flying this. Is it called the Meteor? The Meteor 65 with the BT. Here we go. Drone talk with the BT2 connector. And even with this BT2 connector, man, it eats batteries, man. Whereas the brushed ones don't. And I think was it Lurgy at Makerspace? His was brushed, wasn't it? And
it's an inductrix.
Yeah, and that thing was going great, man. I'm
the OG.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that brushless whoops. I don't. I mean, unless you want to be just buying batteries all of the time, these brushless whoops, they just you know 5 to 10 cycles and the battery looks like a balloon compared to brushed.
It's flogging a dead horse. More is more in this hobby, and I think it always will be.
yeah, it's a numbers thing, isn't it?
There's no going backwards to brush motors. I think that's long gone.
Do you know what though? I never had a brushed motor fail ever. That was the biggest.
I've worn brushes out on motors before.
That was the biggest complaint. And who was it I was speaking to? Was it someone on the show? They said, "Oh, that was it. It was Vernon from Microdrone, who very very popular on Facebook with Ash. He said the thing that
get this photo from, and what am I doing? What is that? Have
I thought you'd like that.
Out of the sock.
Well, look what we're holding up. Do you remember what flight controller that was, Jack?
Oh no, it's not one of those race stripes, is it?
Yeah, and look who Jenny FPV is advertising.
Oh my god! I'd rather have coronavirus
one.
Than
I thought it was funny.
Well, I tried to talk about drone stuff, but you guys carry on.
Sorry.
So no, it's all right.
I need a beta for 85. Have you got one? I'll buy it.
You're actually mentally insane. I can't leave you this long alone. He wants me to take apart an insured GoPro Hero 7 Black.
Yeah. You got to make it as light as possible.
That's like getting a new car and being like, you know, like making it into a Lego set.
Well, the thing is, if we go wrong, Jack, and it doesn't work.
What do you mean we?
Well, I'm going to be leaning over. I'm going to be leaning over your shoulder, saying it's
heavily breathing.
Wait, hang on a second. It's insured. Are you going to claim insurance if it goes wrong?
Yes.
Well, very carefully get that void if peeled sticker very carefully taking it off. Come on, hands up how many people have done that. I'm sure I've got a little tab somewhere with a load of void warranty stickers carefully presumably kept
the colour in the void bit.
Yeah. Ever need to put it back.
I don't want eBay, it's fine.
Do you honestly think this torque screwdriver is not going to stop me? I mean, what do you think?
I don't know.
If I have to make my own tool, I will.
Have you seen those? Have you seen those clever ones when you peel them back? They actually leave a tattoo on the side of the product that says that you peeled it off. There's not much you can do about those ones. I don't think.
There's something called industrial strength screen cleaner or video jet fluid. They're the two things that remove that, by the way. Video jet fluid.
No one wants to see your video jet fluid.
Video jet fluid, if anyone wants to know, it's the stuff that they use to put the black dotted date codes on milk bottles and stuff like that. That's the fluid to let down that.
Thanks.
Huh?
You really learn a lot on this show.
How to commit fraud. Right. Now it's the good stuff. And
yeah, well, if you get the GoPro thing wrong, what I'm saying is we can put it back together and then I'll throw it at the wall and then take it back.
Throw it at the wall and say, "Oh, the void warranty sticker came off."
Yeah,
inside.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, I, for one, am greatly looking forward to this live stream of this dismantling of the GoPro.
He hasn't brought his fuses down yet.
I'm coming to Brighton tomorrow, so I'll pop them in.
If you live stream it, then trust me, GoPro will find you. They found me, that's for sure.
So sorry, Clive, what did I miss? Absolutely nothing. we hopefully we'll be able to do a bonus pod after the show with Dynamo as well. So there'll probably be more drone talk in that. $3 on Patreon. Frank has removed the duck logo in the top corner. That cost how much? £200 or something. Horrendous.
Some silly amount of money.
Yes, I know. We need to
waggling the PayPal credit card again, snorting all the coke in London.
To be fair, since you've gone, we've had no live online lighting fireworks for any donations or anything. Maybe we should do another Patreon thing because we did spend a lot of money on this now, but we're gonna have to do something about that. Maybe you could do something.
I'm getting to the point as well. I went and visited the printer. He said that you could print your own goddamn shirts and hoodies. So I think we could just possibly do orders, write the numbers down, and then looks like I'll have to print them very badly.
Yeah.
That might be a
so
sort
are you
of,
saying that if anyone wants to get a t-shirt or a shirt or a hoodie or a
do it within the next 2 weeks.
wife beater,
well,
handbag.
March and spring is on the way, so I might get you to do me a t-shirt. Can I have a white one though?
What, a white t-shirt?
Yeah,
you can have a white t-shirt, huh?
I want a white one. So there's one, Jack. I definitely want one, and I'll pay for it. FX Road. Yes, it is for a Cinewoop.
Can I get you to milk you? This is me milking you for a spreadsheet. That's it. That's all I need.
Sure, I can.
And then I'll relay the information. Then you fill out the spreadsheet.
Well,
is
that's
that okay?
No. The scope of this is expanding.
Okay.
Giving you a spreadsheet.
All right. How many bales and a ticket to Brighton once you've cleared your quarantine?
Yeah, I need to live out the coronavirus quarantine.
Yeah. What was it? The 27th, wasn't
it? Something like that.
So yeah, shipping won't happen till after the 27th due to Frank may be diseased. What? No LDO socks? No, I don't know what to do about the socks.
You should get them down to about £5 a sock, but it has to be quite a few of them to get that. Unfortunately,
Clive FPV says he wants a t-shirt or a hoodie.
Yeah,
well, can't you make up the money on the socks, because when people, you buy socks in pairs
just to be pricks.
I know. That is literally what I was doing, Andy. Like, I could find them properly with logos on, custom logos on, for £10 a pair. So if we sold them individually, it'd be £5 a sock.
There you go. I just want to go back. Can I go back and ask?
We need to £7 something really odd, but still divisible by 5.
Can we go back to when NJ put his finger up when he said he went flying? NJ, where have you been flying, mate, and what you been flying?
Secret location, but the video's up on my channel. I went to a new, very, very remote but awesome.
Don't praise him. He is a PU55Y. That's his remote ID operating license, because he gave £9.50 to the CIA.
Disrespecting my elders that were in the war. Sorry. Yes, no, it was mainly because I've had this DJI system since, when did I get it, Andy? Like November, and it just sat in the box for a while. And I haven't really had a chance to go and get to know it properly. So I had a real good full day of flight. It was that small high pressure weather system we had where it was really sunny and really calm between storms. So I took advantage of that weekend. It was a couple of days of really nice weather. And just got to know the DJI system a bit better, and that it was great. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was nice, good. It felt like I got rid of some rust and sort of excited to be flying again, especially now with this new system. But obviously, we've now got Storm Ellen, and then another one after that.
Whatever.
So it's going to be
very wet.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
I'm really looking forward to going to Malaga.
Yeah, you're going on an FPV trip, aren't you?
I am.
What? Explain.
All right, okay. This is me really pushing out the boat here. I'm slightly sweating. What's happening with Mini Air Show? Because clearly there's sprung a leak, and you can see it's Popham Air Show something, blah blah blah, and then in brackets MA6. So clearly someone's mugged you off, Frank. No. And now I think Frank is looking to do LDO con or
it's LDO no.
No, LDO con, and then we can call it LogCon.
Oh dear.
LDO no is much better.
Oh, no, yeah. I like LogCon.
Because Because you would be conned if you went.
Lodcott, I'm going to start it.
What is happening for Popham? Tell us the truth. Are we being can we go and fly? Is there
my friend, cannot handle the truth.
I probably can't, and I probably won't go.
LODCON. Lodcott.
It's not LOD.
Yeah, there is that. Let's out drone.
Poor dyslexic Jenny.
To be fair, in 2020, it is Let's Out Drone, isn't it?
Yeah, Let's Out Drones is probably about right. Maybe we should switch the logo up.
I'm all right with it.
LDOCon is not happening, but you can still buy tickets.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Come on, Andy, what's happening?
We're not liable. We're not liable. Those tickets are for LODCON, not LDO.
Somebody asked in the chat what's going on with the racing at Popham and Mini Air Show 6.
Frank's got nothing to do with that, and you need
That's why he's looking so smug. Look at his face. That smile is not the smile of someone worried.
But do we not owe it? Because let's face it, like the Mini Air Show has been dominated by people who watch LDO in recent years, should I say. We must not forget the volunteers and everybody that started it before LDO was a thing. But do we not owe it to the people in the chat to, who were planning, thinking about getting a hotel or camping?
LDO was birthed. It was when I gazed into the loving eyes of Dom. And
he has got lovely eyes.
Yeah, Tony, were you there at the first one?
What?
He has got lovely eyes.
He has. I was there at the start, Jack. You know that.
Yeah, and it was one big threesome, and then the emails came in. Episode pilot. You're doing this shit. Do this better. Why don't you talk to them?
I think everyone wants to know if there's racing at the bloody thingy. Shut up and let Frank answer.
He's not going to answer, is he?
If he's not going to answer, I'm going to tell everybody, just don't go then, if you're not going to answer.
I will answer.
Don't make any plans and don't go.
If I get some airtime, I will answer.
Well, we were waiting.
So,
speak over us.
MA6 will be in the tent, and we will be doing whooping. We'll have all of the binary throttle racing system. We will have some community builds going on. We will have some simulators. We may try and do some kind of slightly big build with community contributions, but haven't worked out that one out. But we definitely have some sort of building, some sort of whooping, and some sort of simming in the marquee. And that is MA6. And that's
so no racing.
So inside the bigger event that is the Popham Air Show.
The event within the event.
Yes, it is an event within the event. So if you've been to Western, you'll have seen that there's the Heli Fest, which is kind of an event of Western, and at the Popham Medal Air Show there will be MA6, which is the event within the event. So that's what I can talk about, is the stuff that's going on in the marquee, and we've got all the volunteers coming on calls, and we're getting all this information together, and getting some plans together and working out where we can get stuff, cut and made, and all the tools and all this kind of thing. And we've got some good plans. The racing, so the stuff outside, the part of the Popham Model Air Show as a whole, there will be some flying. There will be some racing, there will be some camping. The details of all of that are literally, as we speak, being worked out by Popham Airfield and the Southern Area BMFA group. So they are in a meeting this very second, working out what they want to do with that. They have been in touch with someone at KQRC. So I suspect there may be something going on there, but again, I'm not involved in those conversations. I don't have to worry about it. Hooray! So I don't know. But
I think something we do have to worry about, though, if there is racing going on separate to the mini air show. We can't plug in anything because it'll knock them out.
This is again, we're waiting for them to work out who's actually going to be managing the racing so that we can manage frequencies between them.
Okay.
That's again another question that we will hopefully get answered this evening. So I'm keeping an eye on all my channels of information and my moles in discussions, and we'll see. Oh dear, Jack's found the controls.
You know what?
Dave's story in the chat says KQRC has not got race timers. Well, Team Mini Air Show has a lap RF. So
yeah, but we're not allowed outside the zoo, the cordoned off infection zone.
Well,
do you know what?
Who knows? We're not in those conversations. They're being had at the moment. So we'll find out. Tune in next week to find out more.
It's getting close, though, isn't it?
Yes.
Anyone here fly a drone? Raise your hand. Does any one of you have a B certificate? Lower your hand. Get in the tent.
That's the thing.
Can I just say, Tony does smell. He smells bloody gorgeous. Every time he gives you
to be fair, he does smell nice.
He does, yeah.
Thanks, guys.
But yes, there will definitely be Whoop racing at some point, and it may be a tiny Whoop event. We're still working that out with Nigel from a few shows back. And
can't bring me X class then.
Well, you could try, but I think it might not fit around the course.
I haven't got B certificate or sandals.
Hey, I've got a B certificate.
I haven't even got white socks.
Has this not got a dark mode? This is horrendous. It's like bleaching my eyeballs.
What do you mean dark mode? Just turn the brightness of your screen down, you fool. How long's it been?
That means like finding it.
Can we see the ring that you've made me?
No,
it's from my mum.
Huh? It's for your mum.
It's around his balls. That's why you can't see it.
You make it for me, seeing as I'm your bloody wife. Well, so you keep saying.
Yeah, well, I can. That's what next week is for.
Do you know what? Between these storms, I never got a calm patch where I could fly, so I've been flying everything indoors. So I just wanted a quick shout out to the Mobula 6, best tiny Whoop ever. This thing is just amazing, the Mobula 6. The Meteor 65, however, don't like it. But Mobula 6 received about a week and a half ago. I wasn't sure if I was going to review it. But then I was like, they have got this thing. I could not trick it out, man. It is really cool. It'll kill your batteries, but it's really awesome. Well into it.
Nothing's been sent to me from China for 2 weeks. What's up?
Well, this is the thing.
Something happening over there, isn't there?
This was sent you
got lucky there.
Well, it was sent in December, and that's how long it's taken to get here, like on the slow boat or whatever. So, no, I've not received anything.
Did you disinfect it before it came in your house?
No, because you can't catch it from parcels. You can only catch it from, Frenching somebody or whatever.
What? So everyone on that ferry, it was like one of them ferries, was it?
Well, aren't they all that type of ferry? Isn't that why Curry goes on them all?
That's why norovirus gets around them all really quickly, isn't it?
Oh, I can't wait until I'm 65 and on one of them ferries.
Why wait that long?
Well, to be fair, it's not that long.
Oh, fucking hell. Can we block it? Where's the controls? I've got controls. Oh, I better not press anything.
Don't touch anything, Tara, or break.
So, Jack, how are you going to be enjoying your remaining 3 months of freedom?
I don't know. I might just terrorize Gatwick.
I don't think the legislation allows you to do that somehow.
Yeah, I know.
The exemption isn't an exemption from all rules.
Well, here's my problem: is that I have not joined. I've not joined FED UK because he won't come on the show, Mr. Simon Dale. So, Mr. Simon Dale, if you would like,
you did the test though, Jack, so you can fly.
No, haven't you got to have insurance though?
Don't think so.
You don't have to have insurance. It's just a good idea.
No, so I don't need it.
Well, if you want the exemption, then you have to be a member of one of the associations.
Yeah. And I still haven't forgiven the BMFA for throwing us under the bus. So I don't know. Frank, can't we make our own?
We have. It's called LDO.
Yeah. Can that give me an exemption?
No.
So
until LDO makes enough money to pay me to have enough free time to go to all the CAA meetings that UK and BMFA do.
That's about
can we have a number for that?
What was that?
Can we have a number for that?
Probably about
typing in GoFundMe.
20 times more the Patreon than we currently have. Something like that.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Yeah, you carry on work on that.
It would be amazing. Why don't you just take over FPV UK? Shall I have a word with Simon?
I imagine he would want some money for it. And that doesn't sound like something I have.
No, but you're going on holiday soon.
I am going on holiday.
So just
I'm
I don't know.
Managing to get my work to pay for part of my holiday, so that's fun.
Basically,
I convinced my boss that it was cheaper to send me to Spain than it was to send me to Leicester, so it's fine.
No wonder that accountant is like so suspicious of you.
Well, to be fair, it was true. The train ticket was very expensive. The flight was very cheap. So Spain is cheaper than Leicester. It's fine.
Yeah, I can well believe that.
Right,
something I'll quickly mention while I remember it, because it's drone related. Yeah, I think it was yesterday or the day before. The latest liftoff update has the massive antenna array system that the Rotorite guys went and Tommy dived down that crazy.
That's it, yeah.
Oh, Duggar 1.
Was it in Russia or Kiev or
no? It was what's it?
Ukraine.
Chernobyl. That was it. It was Chernobyl.
Oh right, okay. Yes. Anyway, it's very good. I had a little go of it.
Have you seen
it's worth checking out. I had a little play with it last night. Really, really good.
Isn't there another game out? Literally come out 2 days ago. Mikey Dress tell you all about it.
It's an Xbox version, isn't it?
DCL of not Liftoff. It's DCL, isn't it?
I think it's on PlayStation and Microsoft.
Xbox.
Everyone's done adverts for it. Flight Test. They did.
Everyone's moaning about it though because you've got to use gamepads. You can't plug your TX in. Yeah?
Well, that's the idea, is to get people from the gaming world into FPV. I believe. I'm told though that it's very arcade-like.
Which makes sense if they're appealing to a gamer audience and trying to get kids interested in it. It's going to have to work.
There is acro mode, arcade mode, and stuff like that. But it's
is there?
Yeah, but the tiny little sticks that you've got on a gamepad is just not. And
there's no reason why it couldn't. Well, I'm sure they have their reasons, to be fair, but technically it could work over USB if you were to plug USB into your Tyrannus, because the Xbox operating system is a version of Windows 10.
I think they're going to do a patch. I think the game is going to patch the PlayStation and Microsoft Xbox to do that.
Oh, is that on PlayStations as well, is it?
Yeah.
Mikey
Dredd in the chat's played it and says it sucks. But I've seen a couple of people playing it online and they're not liking it.
I mean, it sucks for us, but sorry.
Yeah, the Mr. Shady said my PC isn't fast enough to play Liftoff. Yeah, that's probably my biggest complaint about Liftoff compared to some of the other sims out there. I think Velocidrone's a little more is a little more efficient and better optimized if you're looking for lighter. So there are a fair few graphically lighter loading sims out there, but
Our own Curry Kittens one,
and then you've got of course Curry Kittens, and then Liftoffs. I'm surprised actually. I would have thought by now Liftoff would be able to with the amount they've sold a lot of copies now, and there's a lot of people on it, and it's been in development for a long time. I would have thought things would be a little bit more optimized than they are. That new map, especially, although they are saying it's only just out of beta, I think is definitely on the unoptimized side, because even my PC was having frame drops, and I'm running a 1080 Ti and a 8th gen i7. I should not have any problems. 1080 Ti.
Man, I bet that depressed you, MJ.
Well, it didn't, because that card is still a monster, and it really is just down to optimization. I mean, there's a lot of geometry there. It's a big structure, but they're not, at the same time, they're not a AAA games company with a whole massive floor full of coders that can make this thing.
Remember,
run on a potato. It's not yet, but
there's still a Curry Kitten sim we can all play for free.
Yes, indeedy.
Yeah, and it's not graphics intensive. I still need to try it. I just need to have the time.
I need to try it as well.
I've just not had the time.
My laptop is tiny, so it's it can work on anything.
I think he's really onto something there.
How are you watching this video?
And although it's old, it still does get updates now and again. Is Freerider, which runs on Android OS. So there's stuff that literally will run on potatoes, and Freerider is still a great alternative. And there's a light version which is free too, if you want to try that out. There's loads out there now. So Sims are a good thing, and they'll get us through this stormy period.
Isn't there one called Hot Props as well, or am I making that up?
Yes, there is. No, you're right. There is one called Hot Props. In fact, because I bought that.
It's not a free one.
I don't think so. I think there was a free version. I definitely had Hot Props, but that was years ago. I don't know if they're still going, but it was at the time it came out. It was actually really good. Like, the physics felt really nice on it. So
the free ones are the most popular. Once Curry's happy, I'll probably never be. It'll always be an ongoing project. But I can remember when was it DRL came out with their sim, and it was free. It got crazy downloads and views from my videos. So once Curry's got his to that position, I'll stick it on my channel, because people just love free simulators, and there's not many, and that's what happens usually is a simulator starts off free, and then they look at the numbers and go, Jesus, if only I got £1 for every person that downloaded it, and then you have to pay for it, and then people lose interest in it. So but Curry says he's gonna keep it free always, so let's hold him to that, because it looks really cool what he's doing. I love what he's doing with the drift cars as well, because following drift cars or any kind of cars with a quadcopter is just so much fun. If you haven't done it, Tony will be able to weigh in on that, having followed real drift cars.
Very good fun.
I'm building a big RC drift car so that we can follow it with our.
Yeah, I've seen that. Looks good, mate. Looks good.
Oh man, I got some real mad parts. In fact, actually, part turned up today is the ESC and motor combo with all sorts of things: traction control, launch control, ABS brakes, and just like handbrakes. So
cool.
yeah.
Do you know who invented ABS?
Andrew Brian Sinclair.
Someone German, probably.
Swedish.
Correct. You're right. It was Mercedes.
Oh.
They invented most of the clever tech.
And seatbelts.
Wasn't it ABS where number of injuries dramatically went up after the mass adoption of ABS? Because
something like that, because it immediately made people think, I can drive like an absolute twat now. Yeah.
You know what?
Take care of it for me, and it doesn't work like that. But
have any of you guys ever been on a racetrack in a car that doesn't have ABS?
can't say I have, but I do remember driving before ABS. I definitely had a couple of cars before it was a.
Did you ever? Because now you can brake through a corner, but before ABS, if you brake through a corner, you just spin instantly. And on a racetrack, my first time on a racetrack in a car that didn't have ABS, they always said so you should brake, and then when you turn, come off the brakes. And I was like, why? Because like in my road car, like you can be, you can balance it. And then I tried it and just span off into the grass and nearly hit the tire walls. And then and funnily enough, in my car today, now just from my short batch of doing a bit of racing, I don't brake through corners, even though I know I can with ABS, because, oh man, yeah, I had a pretty bad shunt braking through a corner with no ABS. It is, we take ABS for granted.
Sure.
We do.
Yeah.
I did like your dog poo bin as your obstacle for your drift car.
Oh, do you know what? I turned up to the sports hall with no agenda. I was like, I've got, because nothing's coming from anywhere because of the virus. I was like, just going to take the car, and my objective was to try out some new tires. And Phil goes, "Shall I bring the bin? And you can donut around the bin." I was like, "You've just made this into a thing." But oh man, yeah, it's really difficult though. Some people are embracing the car thing, and there are others that are like, "I didn't subscribe for this," and I'm just like, "Well, just don't watch it then."
Is it called Andy RC or Andy Flies Drones?
Yeah, but
it's RC, isn't it? You can do anything you want.
I understand where they're coming from. I'm just trying to. What happened was I got into the.
What happened was
I got into the RC bike, and I bloody loved it. I can't do it yet. My wife. No, we shouldn't go there.
No. Do you know what I thoroughly enjoyed was Andy RC likes to ring me in the car when he goes to those events, and he shows up and everyone's getting this stuff out the car park.
Yeah.
And
Jack starts saying words that he shouldn't say.
Well,
he also does it when I go to for Chinese food. Starts yelling stuff about the coronavirus.
Well, he was there in the car park, and people were like getting in and unpacking stuff in the car, and then I'm like, "No, Uncle Andy, don't touch me when you get home."
I don't know why I ring him. You know, the only time I have to ring Jack is then, and he still
forward you where, Frank?
He still throws me under the bus.
Oh, not to me. Oh,
who's got their pingers on?
Me, because this is evidence that Frank literally has to give detailed drawn instructions with like flow diagrams and stuff.
Can you pass a link to someone else? Yes, here's the link. No, not to me.
Well, you said someone else.
NJ, have you tried the analog DJI thing? I did a little video on that.
Yeah, I did. I think it works great. I mean, I've come into it at the point where it's further along than it was before the updates, where there was a few latent problems and things like that, but it felt absolutely fine. In fact, I will say this much, and again, please remember this is so incredibly subjective, but for me, I finally kind of got to that point where that can now, my diversity module can now live there, and my fat sharks have gone in a drawer, so that kind of says where I'm at.
Do you know what? Do you know why that is though? Because you're running the HD3s, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I did a video where I took the Fat Shark analog setup, and the Fat Shark analog setup and the DJI analog setup, and the OLED screen does make quite a considerable difference. But if you've never experienced OLED, then the DJI goggles are it, you know.
I've got everything. My OLED is great. It's just a different panel technology. just as IPS, or there's another one with V in it. They've all got their own different goods and bads. But the thing is, it's really with OLED, you've got a much greater contrast ratio. You've got deeper blacks, and the contrast will give you a clearer picture for sure. For me, going, as you say, subjective to me, I'm going from the HD3s, which are an LCD panel, to a bigger, very nice, clear LCD panel, which is a very nice viewing experience.
Higher res, probably, as well.
But if someone says it's that analog experience or the Fat Shark, and there's not like a big difference between the two, other than you've got a physically bigger screen in there, which is obviously nice. In terms of the visual, the sort of how nice it looks, as I'm not comparing it to an OLED panel, it looks as great as it ever has for me. It works fine. The big seller for me is the fact that you've got that awesome 20 megabit DVR, and it's 60 FPS. That is worth its weight in gold, because now my DVR footage looks way smoother and nice, and that's made such a big difference. When I'm out, if I'm going to go out and do a video review on a Whoop or anything with that is going to be running analog, then I will take those DJIs with me now and get the great footage from the DVR that's on board. So I don't. For me, it's kind of made the Fat Shark redundant. I don't need to take 2 sets of goggles with me anymore. So yeah, that's where I've ended up.
My new faceplate turned up. I haven't opened it yet. You said you didn't need it because the shims were enough for you, but I've got the new faceplate.
Let me know what that is. It just looks like a pillow to me. But I guess
funnily enough, it's not made by a DJI. It came in this. I was like, what the hell is this? It's got Maple Wireless written on it, but then on the back it said. I hope it hasn't got my address on it. It came in this, right? But then on the back it says Shenzhen DJI company. So I was like, they've outsourced their faceplate to somebody else.
Do you know what I've been wondering?
What?
NJ, like Kim Wilde, Keep Me Hanging On video. Is that your old man in the doorway?
What the fuck?
Can I meet Kim to ask her?
Let's go totally off topic again. Go.
Describe my old man, because I bet you're wrong.
Well, it's Norfolk, isn't he?
Oh, you did know. Okay.
How do I import a video?
Oh well, you'll get demonetized.
No, I just want a still of this video.
Just open it in a new tab, then do share screen, then select that tab, then do full screen.
Why did you tell him?
Because it's good. I just want to know whether.
Is this what you've been doing? We're sitting here talking about drone stuff, and you're like, I've got an idea.
We've had so many comments being like, "Oh, it's so boring, Jack."
Look, I'm sure.
Right.
I mean, look how hot she is, right?
Oh
so now we know how she's managed to prize him off Sophie. No, Sophie off him. That's it. That way around. Look, I reckon. Look, I reckon that's NJ's old man.
You know that is most likely to be in the doorway is her brother Rick when he had
probably hair. That probably is Rick. Yeah.
Look.
Yeah,
definitely. Rick. Look, easily under 5, but definitely from Norfolk.
Definitely not my father, because my dad was blonde hair, blue eyed.
Do you know what, Jack? All you're doing here is you are denying yourself of a trip to watch NJ and Kim Wilde, which is one of the best experiences you can ever do.
I can't go. I would have.
His face is part of our security brief. He wouldn't make it.
Don't let this guy in. Even if he's bought a ticket, just refund him and turn him away.
Yeah.
Oh man,
he'd be covered in red dots before he knew it.
I've become such a Kim Wilde fanboy.
Did we mention the X Plus class, the Tony sized quad? that DCL
Oh, yes, Flight Test did. They're talking about the DCL. Their goal.
Mine's like a car crash, isn't it? There's just bits flying everywhere.
That is bottom. 100% bottom.
Their goal is their goal. They said their goal all along was to have manned drone races.
I would so do that.
Well, if you watch this thing, there's no way you get me in that thing.
You're a midget. You don't weigh anything.
I know. I might win something.
If you haven't watched Flight Test for a long time, go and watch their last episode because they demoed it. They did a roll with it. They did a loop with it, and it's huge. It looks great.
Looks super agile. It must be packing some serious power to weight because I've not seen anything that big flying with that.
Can we have a little taster?
Didn't they say 14S batteries? 14S, I think. And that
way higher than that.
Maybe
X-Cars going 14S in.
Maybe it was 14 batteries then. I think
probably that.
Yeah,
more like I would imagine the voltage would be very high.
Stick it on the screen. Flight Test aren't going to sue us.
I would so go in that and have a go.
Yeah, I would not. They put an analog dummy in there.
Frank, weigh in.
Yeah, I saw Jack. That's why Jack said.
Does anyone remember the demo of the? I think it was the Australian kind of equivalent. I can't remember what their project was called, but it was basically the same idea, just giant multi-rotor manned for racing, and it was that was being demoed at Goodwood last year, sort of end of summer.
But didn't it crash or something?
It crashed rather dramatically in that it required everyone to run and hide and find shelter because they didn't know where it was going to come down, and I think it was just outside the airfield area, and therefore it's not just kind of like a bad landing, it is a crash, and it requires the air.
That's why they didn't want us there this year.
I personally think that there has to. I can't see myself how there can't be some kind of small rocket chute redundancy needed for that, because if you do get a failure, there is no backup to that coming out the sky. You can't do the old trick that was programmed in and tested of putting it into an incredibly fast yaw spin, because that
it has props on the top and the bottom, so maybe there is something they can do.
Yeah, that's true, but I mean, even with that, it's still, I would still, I wouldn't be comfortable without some kind of chute, like the Cirrus planes have in general aviation. They have a rocket chute that goes up and opens, and at least they've got some kind of safety.
Drone Racer says a flyaway would be way worse. Imagine that.
What if the pilot's in there? Where the hell am I going?
Yeah, but you know what?
It's not really flying away if you're still in it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? He wouldn't have to register though, because he's in it. If you're in it, you don't have to register it. Good move.
I was looking at this the other day because I was like,
I think that doesn't work for sex offenders.
There's rules about like microlights that, if they're below a certain weight, you don't have to have like a pilot's license or anything. But it turns out that it specifically excluded rotorcraft, so that's kind of, unless you've got a big wing as well as your multi-rotors.
I had visions of Tony sat in one of those DCL drones, and then he's got his his GoPro thing, and he's doing his professional work all legally.
If anyone's interested in the chat about the rocket chute thing, if you look up Cirrus in general aviation, they're generally for posh people like Lord Sugar. They're very expensive. Nothing like the Cessna aircraft. They're very expensive, sort of 2 to 4 seater aircraft. Yeah. Oh God, they're super money.
What, they're sticking them on jets? Are they?
As an option, you get a chute built into them and a handle that both yourself and someone could lean forward from the back and pull it, and it has a rocket powered chute that goes up and opens up. But
interesting, till you're upside down.
Well, interestingly, no, that doesn't matter either. The interesting thing about that is that even though they've had it, it's the number of pilots, and this goes back to the real pilot error thing, who have had the opportunity to use it, but continue to think that they can fix a problem without identifying they're in in a situation where they should use it, and they don't and crash and die anyway. But I think in a multi-rotor, it'd be a lot more definitive that it's time to pull the chute.
Immediately gets in it. Rotor start gently spinning. Knowing Tony, if he was in one of those things, he'd probably paint the inside of the windshield and then have a camera just so he could wear his. I can't fly like this unless I'm wearing my goggles.
Yeah, but I'm in the craft, so it'd be all right. It's
holding his Tyrannus upside down.
Doesn't have a windshield.
I feel safe like this.
I'll be fine, mate.
Anyway, we need to wrap up.
Should we call it there?
Dana waiting for us in the other room. So
yes,
if you're a Patreon, come and join.
Please pay more because we've just spent 200 bar on this.
Yeah. Thank you to all our Patreons. Thanks everyone for all my hey, welcome back. I'm gone a few more weeks and then I'll be back for good.
Are we going away again?
Yeah.
So we've got you back from 1 week and then it's going back to
1 week for Darnome.
It's only because it's half term.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That sounds bad, doesn't it?
Nice one. Darnome's on his fucking way out, buying the fucking farm, and then you little prick. It's like, no, yeah, he was off anyway. It's fine. No, Darnome, you're not special. Well done, Andy. You're Hitler.
What?
He used to me.
How am I Hitler?
Can you wrap up, please, Jack?
Okay. I need to cut that bit. Thank you for everyone who's joined in. Thank you to all our patrons. Thank you for everyone who supported us. If you want to catch a bonus show, head on over to our Patreon. It's only $3. If you're a Patreon anyway, go over and we'll meet you there. If we need to squeeze more people on, I guess we'll have to Discord it, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, tonight you've been joined by Andrew/Frank.
Goodbye.
Andy RC.
Ta-ta.
The sexiest man in Norfolk, NJ.
Oh God, it's never gonna get any better than this, is it? This is now my outro forever from now.
NJ,
it will.
NJ.
I'm going away. You're fine for the next 5 weeks. I don't know what the problem is.
NJ, you're an attractive guy in a world of birds.
You're just encouraging him. I see you up there. I know who you are.
I'll wrestle Kim Wilde for him.
That works.
Anyway, and you're.
Yes, bye everyone. Take care. See you next week.
And my little Tony.
Bonjour.
And I'll be bright till I fly, ruining it all. And I'm really sorry if you thought this was a sensible podcast. It's not.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.